It's Tuesday, the 10th of September. Just got back from another exciting day of qualifying up at the Reno National Championship air races. Today the winds picked up slightly, making for some interesting and a little more challenging flying for the STOL Drag pilots up at Reno. Even though it's only Tuesday, I could get a sense that morale was flagging slightly amongst the troops there, amongst the STOL Drag boys. They've been there already since Saturday or Sunday. They're taking an entire week out of their lives, and they're only getting to fly once a day. And in that lineup, it only takes a little over a minute to do a drag race. So you're waiting around all day to get basically 1 minute to 2 minutes worth of flying, even if you get 2 runs on the course. Now, I've been going up to the Reno air races since my folks took me up there in about 1973. I've been involved with the air races since about the early 1980s, either volunteering as a crew chief with the Unlimiteds, eventually got involved with racing in the biplane class, raced about 5 seasons in the Pit Special, had an old S1C biplane. And then got into volunteering. We sponsored the High G Ridge for the few years that lasted. And now with the STOL Drag races. So the Reno Air Race Association is a pretty militant, military-style organization. Having been in the military myself, I'm very used to it, and the build-up to the show gets very tense, and every single move you make out there on the field is heavily scrutinized, and that can lead to a certain level of fatigue, especially when you're putting in all this work and effort only for a little tiny bit of flying each day. The STOL Drag Races is a brand new event to the Reno Air Races, so the spotlight is on us to see if we make the audition. And let me tell you, as a turnaround judge, when the planes all line up down there and get ready to blast off, everybody else on the airfield that's there right now drops everything they're doing and comes up to the flight line to see this thing happen. You can hear a pin drop across that entire field when, Kevin, when you drop that green flag and the first planes blast off. Kevin, you've taken a ragtag bunch of cowboys from out in the dusty desert, put them together, and believe it or not, you've created a precision aerial demonstration team. And through social media now, you've really become big-time ambassadors for general aviation. So even though the tension is building as we get closer to race day, all of this is going to change once you see the crowds of people in the stands watching your 1-minute performance. So chin up, stamina men, carry on. Let's look at today's dailies and see how things went out there at the turnaround judge point. But first, let's meet the planes that each pilot is flying in this year's event, starting with Hal Stockman's RANS S7S Courier. Race 3, better known as Lawnmower 3. Race 4 is Brian Bowen in a Kit Fox Series 5. Race 6 is Jason Sneed in a Carbon Cub. Race 13, of course, is Trent Palmer in the Freedom Fox, the highly modified Kit Fox. Race 14 is Jeremy Young in the Tac Arrow Carbon Cub. Race 22 is Ty Firkin in a Kit Fox Series 4. Race 44, Steve Henry in Yeehaw 7, the 7th Just Aircraft Highlander. Race 53 is Scott Palmer in a Kit Fox. Race 56 is Toby Ashley, Carbon Cub. Race 80, Bo Ellis, Cessna 180. Race 85 is Kathy Page, I think This is a Piper Vagabond. So Kathy's plane is actually a Piper Clipper 1949 with sticks. In 1950, this design became the Piper Pacer, and prior to 49, it was the two-seat Vagabond. Yep. Only 1 year, rare Piper. 140 horse 0290 D2. Race 99 is Kyle Moses, a Rans 7. Lots of tanker activity again here today. On Tuesday, the Spanish Springs fire popped last night right over here, so they got the seats, the single engine air tankers on it. Plus we got the medium and heavy size air tankers still working the Walker fire. They will be transitioning to Minden Field later on today. There goes the Mad Dog. Meanwhile, we're moving jets around, aircraft around, getting the corral set up. We got to coordinate for 10:25 go for 10:50 show. The Erickson Mad Dog, short final. They just cleared the T6 course. There go the buckets. Again, we had to do a lot of coordinating with the air tankers, as the Air Race Association has a lot of sport class airplanes to qualify, so time is of the essence, and they really needed to stick to the schedule. We got the seat landed right here. Everybody up at the tower is watching our every move out here on the course. A lot of moving parts going on. Taxi is approved. So now we're going to reverse order it, with the exception of the lead aircraft, to do the duck walk. There we go, boys. Looking good. Gentlemen, we are testing. Gentlemen, we are testing. Don't cut the corner. Pull forward to the blue line and follow the guy in front of you. Don't cut the corner, boys.
Race control, Stud 1. I'd like to cross Alpha to the STOL Drag start line.
A little bit of a crosswind today, boys. To answer some of the questions from the last episode, no, there's no set point where the pilots are required to chop the power.
Power up, power up, power up.
They just got to land on or beyond the line. Once they've come to a full stop, the pilots can turn either direction that they wish for the turnaround. They're knocking them out today. Here comes Bo in the 180 in the right lane, kicking up dirt like an automobile. Corey in the left. No, Corey, what are you doing? Too early, man. DQ on Corey. Ooh, boy, that's a rough son of a gun. DQ on both. There's a big bump in the course right about here that we need to smooth out. That's a bouncy ride in the big 180, and there's no requirement to take off before the line. You can take as long as you need to take off. You just got to get airborne. In the number 1 lane. Yellow Kit Fox, number 2 lane. Good. And good. Oh, that quartering tailwind is wreaking havoc. Incomplete stop, boys. No, 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 no. Kathy in the number 1 lane with the Clipper, and the Kit Fox 4 in the number 2 lane.
First aircraft outside.
Don't go early, Tutu. Don't go early. Good. And good. Kathy's Clipper has no flaps, making it especially challenging. Good stop. And good stop. Kathy in the Clipper, up over the ski jump. Good job, Kathy. The course generally slopes uphill towards my end and downhill towards the start-finish line. Good run, boys. Winds are 6 knots out of the north. Who's next? Yellow and white Kit Fox, number 2 lane. And the Rand's Courier, number 1 lane. Whoa, don't touch down yet, boys. Good, good. Nice stop on heading. Good and good. There are 2 additional judges working with me to help determine full stop. The crowd that's here is loving it. All eyes on the STOL Drag. They've never seen anything like this before. Get everybody up on the tower. All our safety officials are up there watching our every move today. I hear Steve Henry. There he is. In the number 2 lane. Just screaming. Watch Steve drop the flaps early. Wow, she dropped in. Wow. And Hal, good. Hal always shacking it. Steve's got the Yamaha-powered snowmobile engine, turbocharged, nitrous fueled, just aircraft. We'll see more about this later. He's gonna have to shoot Hal down again. Good turn, good turn. Two Carbon Cubs. Butch in the number 1 lane, Tack Arrow number 2 lane. Don't go early, boys. We'll have more on these Carbon Cubs, but as you already know, they're very expensive aircraft, anywhere from $150,000 to $350,000. Good stops. Right rudder, 1-6. There you go. These are 180 horse Carbon Cubs producing phenomenal performance. Good turn, good turn. We've already run through the full field of 14 aircraft in 7 races and now are using up the rest of our time on our clock with a little extra practice time. The Freedom Fox and a Carbon Cub. Watch this landing of Trent. It's very close. What do you see? Good. Ooh, not good. Short. Winds are picking up. Bo and Corey out for a little additional practice, and the boys are going to take Wednesday off and blow off a little steam in downtown Reno, where Kevin's rented out an entire go-kart racing venue for the boys to go have some fun with. That tailwind's really picked up. I'll be up on Thursday for the rest of the weekend. See you here. Come on up and say hi. Bo beating a carbon cub. Good turn. Good turn, good turn.